Hey everyone. So I'm live on Facebook, YouTube and Instagram. I don't know how it's going to work on Instagram because it's not something I do very much, and I don't know, it's asking me something and I don't know what it's asking me to do. So I'm just going to keep pressing next on the Instagram. Come on. That's it. We're done. I don't know what Instagram's doing, but anyway, there you go. So, hey everyone, I'm Dr. Helen. So I'm an A&E doctor and an advocate for integrative wellness, as well as an animal aromatherapy specialist. And so I love to use essential oils to support the health and well-being of myself and my pets, and helping educate people to do the same for their family, whether they're human or animal. So if you like what you're listening to, please hit the subscribe button or follow, depending on what platform you're on, so I can carry on creating more content. And let me know in the comments what you want to know about. Would you like to get essential oils into your life? Why not book in for a free chat with me, find out, or come to one of my classes, and we can see what you need support with for your pets or for yourself. Or maybe you've got oils but don't know how to use them. That's fine too, because I can also help you with that as well. So just drop me a message and then we can chat about what the best option is for you. So I wanted to talk today about using essential oils internally for your pets. So this might be a little bit of a surprise for you. But I was listening to live that Emma Rutherford did, actually, who's the canine nutritionist, and she was talking about sort of raw food and how people are adding sort of artificial vitamins and minerals, and I was like, oh, that's crazy, isn't it? And so it prompted me. I thought, actually I'm going to do this about using essential oils internally, which, as I said, may well surprise you. So a little bit about how I started using these. So I'd started using essential oils, but hadn't really realized that some of the ones, the doTERRA ones that I use and advocate for, but there are other ones that can be used internally, because the ones that you use internally actually will have something like either food grade or food supplement or food flavoring on them. And that indicates that they are pure enough to be used. And in actual fact, essential oils are used for flavoring all the time. So maybe you've used peppermint oil to flavor, or when we use lemon zest in cakes and things like that, what we're actually using is lemon oil. It actually comes from the zest. It's the compressed zest and then the lemon oil. And if you ever crushed a peppermint leaf in your hands, that's the oil. So it's not as far out as maybe you think. But I'd been using the oils aromatically and topically, and hadn't really used them for my pets the same way internally. And what happened in May 2020, my boy Rowan got diagnosed with hip dysplasia. And so the management for that really was nutraceuticals, to support his musculoskeletal system as much as you could. And so I started looking into it. Now, I am very passionate about feeding my dogs a raw diet. I feed a very good quality raw. I'm actually vegan. I'm very passionate about a whole food plant-based diet for us humans, but because I feel that's the most appropriate thing for us and for our dogs, I feel that in actual fact we need to be biologically appropriate for them. And I feed a very high quality raw because it's, to me, I want them to have the best raw available that's from ethical producers, because that's obviously going to be better for the planet, the animals that they come from, and also for my dogs. So we're not having any nasty antibiotics or growth hormones or anything nasty in their food, and it's all good quality raw food as well. So anyway, they had all that, and I was looking into things like glucosamine and chondroitin supplementation for Rowan. And I tried them in the past with other dogs that had arthritis, and I hadn't found any benefit whatsoever. And I looked at some of the suppliers for this and how it was produced, and I wasn't comfortable at all with how it was, how it came together. And so a lot of it's from things like shark cartilage as well. And from an ethical standpoint, it just did not sit well with me. And I was like, do we really need it? Because I feed my dogs a raw food. So I actually spoke to some of the canine nutritionists who actually who deal with some of the food companies that I was buying from and things. And the general consensus is that actually, if you're feeding a raw diet, that will actually have enough glucosamine and chondroitin in, and then you can supplement it with bone broth. And so bone broth, that fitted well with me because I can work out where it's sourced from. I can buy really good quality bone broth, which I do. I tend to buy the osseous one, or I actually make it myself. It's super easy, just bung it in the slow cooker. So that really fitted well with me. And then I was looking at what else I could do. And, I'd started to do Dr. Janet Rourke's training, who's the essential oil vet, and I'm now one of her consultants. And I was looking at what other oils can I use to support the musculoskeletal system of my dogs. And if you're watching on, I'm just going to get my picture back up, so I removed it. If you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, you can actually see my dog's dinner. And then I've got some of my favorite little supplements just up in that corner there. And so I was looking at what I can do. Now, the core ones I use for my dogs are Copaiba, DDR Prime, and frankincense. And I've spoken about Copaiba a lot. I add in some other ones that are more specific for my different dogs. But the core ones, they all have actually is Copaiba, DDR Prime, and actually, no, they all have Copaiba and DDR Prime. And then I think 5 of them have frankincense as well. Sometimes 4, sometimes 5. Because the thing is, those 2 ones, Copaiba and DDR Prime, they actually support a whole load of systems in our body. Okay, it's not just a musculoskeletal system, which is where my story starts. It's a whole load of different systems in the body. And then a few others have some other ones added in to support them. So Bambi might have celery seed oil added in because that's very good for the urinary tract because he's paraplegic. They do have turmeric. My Springers all have turmeric. Maz, my senior dog, has turmeric oil added in as well. Frankincense as well. And then they might have a little bit of, extra ones added in, as we go, depending on what their needs are. So Bambi needed a little bit of extra immune support. I wasn't sure about his urine today, so I've added in some On Guard protective blend just for a little bit of extra support for his immune system as well. But the great thing is that I know where these oils have come from. They're just naturally, from the plant. I know doTERRA has a huge emphasis on purity. There's so much I could tell you about sourcing of them. It's just absolutely fantastic. But if you want to know anything, and you do have a doTERRA bottle, you can look on the bottom of any bottle, batch number there, go to source2u.com, put in the batch number, and that will tell you all the details. As you can see, there's nothing nasty in it. So that is just pure oil from the grapefruit, the zest of the grapefruit. So that's absolutely fantastic. But yes, so I just add them to the food. And it absolutely, the benefits have just been stunning. They really have. I mean, my boy Rowan went back to canicrossing, and not just went back to canicrossing, he is doing so well. I actually got, like I said, my fastest part run time with him. And he's 2 years older post-diagnosis. And so these really do support the musculoskeletal system. And the great thing as well about them is that they don't just, like I said, they don't just support one element of the body. So Copaiba supports anywhere in the body that has got CB2 receptors. So emotional health, your livers, your kidneys, your immune system, musculoskeletal system, so everywhere. And we can use them too. So, when I'm away in my camper van, I mean, I take a lot of oils with me because, I love having all my oils, and I love it if someone comes up, someone come up to me the other day, I'm like, oh man, I've got such a hangover. I was like, hang on, let me help you. But I love having all my oils. But the great thing is that I can use the same. So it doesn't matter what we're using. I use the same, just slightly maybe different quantities or how I'm using them, but we've always got stuff there, and it's absolutely fantastic because they provide this systemic benefit. And so I don't have to fork out a load of money for lots of different supplements and spend ages putting them in, because I know, I mean, all the dogs have Copaiba. Because it's just so good for everything. So I want to support, and particularly support the musculoskeletal system, because I've got obviously 4 sports dogs, and then I've got my paraplegic and my senior, my boy Maz, who's only got 2 legs, but he's getting a senior dog as well. So they all need some musculoskeletal support. And I've got one oil that does that. But that oil also helps my dogs that have got anxiety. That oil also helps my boy Bambi with his urinary system. So it has all these extra benefits as well. Same with DDR Prime. Very, very good for supporting the musculoskeletal system, but also very good for emotional health as well, and also for the immune system as well. So, you've got those 2 oils that do everything, and then I need them, I can take them as well. So I had a smoothie today, and I had some Copaiba in it, to support my musculoskeletal system as I just come back from a run. So really, really powerful way to use the oils. So if you'd like to know more about embracing oils, you know, I do oils for humans and pets. So if you want to know about how to use oils for the whole family, makes it so much cheaper, doesn't it, as well? Just drop me a message and we can chat and come to one of my classes. If I haven't got a live class, I've always got a recording or something like that. But they've really, really made such a massive difference, not just for myself, but also for my pets. And I've just shared on my Healthful Doctor page on Facebook and YouTube about how I hurt my back a few weeks ago and I used oils to get me back to balance. So loads of different benefits there. So do drop me a message if you want to know more. And one thing I'm just going to explain to you how to add them. So plastic, you do need to be careful. These are plastic bowls. I haven't actually got these bowls. This is an old photo, but I never let the oils come into contact with the plastic. Okay, so really important there. So you can either add the oils. I add the oils directly to the food. Okay, now things like Capaba seems to be very palatable for the dog. Sorry if you're watching this on Instagram, you can't see my picture, but are very palatable for the dogs. But quite a lot of dogs I come into contact with, not mine actually, but clients' dogs, they're not so keen on frankincense. But generally with a raw diet, it does seem to hide the taste. But you can also put them in a little veggie capsule and then pop a drop in the veggie capsule and then top it up with some olive oil, sunflower oil, or if you're using an omega-3 oil, just pop it in there. And then pop that in the food. I also add the oils. I usually often have bone broth as well, so I might add the oils to the bone broth. But I have just stainless steel bowls now that I put them in, which is what you want. So I drink out of a stainless steel. You can use glass. I just decided years ago that having 3 Springer Spaniels and glasses was not a good combination. So I have metal beakers, but it's very, very super. It's so easy to just do a drop. And I have little dropper bottles like this, and I just get it out and I just pop a little drop in the food. So it's super simple to do, really no measuring out and everything, just makes it really easy. But that's how I like to add the oils. Occasionally I will put a little drop, particularly Capaba. I might put a little drop on a treat. Sometimes I just pop it on my hands as well for the dogs to lick, because it's very effective. It gets straight where they need it. So particularly for a couple of my anxious dogs, if they're a bit spooked by something, I'll just pop a drop directly on my hand, and they'll just lick that off. But you can also pop them on a treat as well. So hope that has answered any questions. And like I said, just drop me a message and let me know if there's anything that you want to know. Stay safe, everyone. Stay well.